Hey there, welcome to Podio Academy. This is Podio 101, creating applications. So in this training, we're going to cover what's kind of the core feature of Podio, and that is creating applications. So creating custom applications is really easy using the low code, no code interface. We'll show you how you can create apps, from scratch, or we'll show you how you can pull apps from the Podio app market that are pre-built, ready for download. We'll talk about the app settings. So understanding things like labels, icons, default views, descriptions, things like that. We'll focus a lot on the field types. So you'll notice when you're building your Podio apps, there are quite a few field types that you have to choose from in order to add certain data attributes to your app to track your items. We'll talk for just a minute about app relationships. So being able to link applications together. We'll talk about leveraging unique IDs, and we'll touch real quick on basic calculations. So let's go ahead and let's jump over to my Podio environment here. And like I said, I have a workspace where I want to create a new app. In this workspace, it's just a very basic workspace for projects, milestones, and requests. But let's say, for example, I want to start tracking things like time cards. I want to create a time cards app. So I have a couple of ways to do this. I can come up here to the Add App button, and I can either create my own, which we'll do here in a second, or I can come over to the app market. And you can see the app market is organized by things like function, industry. There's a whole host of pre-built applications and app packs built in the app market. You'll see here, because I am part of a few different organizations, you also have the ability to deploy app packs only internally to your organization. So we'll touch on that in another training. But like I said, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll come in and see, is there something that makes sense here that I want to try and download? Maybe somebody built one already. It doesn't look like it for time cards. So let's go back out and let's just create our custom app. So what I'm going to do, again, is click that Add App button at the top. I'm going to click Create Your Own App. And now we get to start creating things. So I'm going to call this Time Cards. Obviously, each item within my Time Cards app is going to be called a time card. It's going to be a standard event. We're not building something that's going to have an RSVP or a calendar function. Contacts app, we're not building that. This is just 9 out of 10 times you're going to use the standard app type. We can choose an app icon. So I can come in here. Let's just grab the clock. And I can choose my standard layout. Now, again, this can be changed. Your layout can be changed, for your unique views. Once you have your app created and you have items in there, this is just the standard layout we're setting for this application. You'll see here I can create an app description. This is where we add our time cards. And you can add instructions for creating a new one, which we're not going to do right now. Now, something else we can do is we can go to the advanced settings, and you'll see we have some additional app configuration options. So we can choose to not post new items to the stream. So what would happen is if we created a new time card, it would not go to the activity stream. We could do the same thing with edits. You could disable notifications for things like items being created, edited, or deleted for people that follow this app. We could say we don't want members to add items to this app. We don't want members to edit items in this app. We want to disable comments, or we want to enable a unique ID. Now, this is something that I touched on briefly in the intro slides. And what we want to do is we can assign unique identifiers to each app item to help us in things like workflows and tracking down the road. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come in and give this a prefix, time card. I can choose to have 3 digits, 4 digits, 10 digits. I'm just going to choose 3 for right now. I kind of like this layout. And what I'm going to do once I have all that ready is I'm going to click Create App. So again, this kind of being the core of Podio is our app building interface. So very low code, no code. And you'll see here I've got a number of fields that I can choose from to create my application and the data types that I want to track. So let's say if creating a time card, I want to track, um, let's say time card owner. Let's just put that right at the top. Let's say we want to select date worked. We want to do something like a duration. And let's go ahead and add a relationship, and we'll come back and talk to this. We're going to add a relationship to our projects. Let's see. Let's also add a time card status. Okay. So again, we have a number of these fields. We can add text fields, category fields. These can be really handy. These can be category fields to set up anything you want. So you can see here I can add my own options. So this could be submitted, approved. Depending again on how you work, this is very flexible. It could be whatever you want. So we could, do something like this and color coordinate these things. Each of these applications, I'll mention, also has a specific configuration. So you can come in and say, I want to hide it if it's empty. For category, I can set single choice, multiple choice. I can change the look. Date, obviously, this is going to be a little bit different. I have the ability to hide the time entry or hide the end date. Duration, you'll see here, we can do something like I want to display just hours and minutes. And relationship, again, we picked an application for that project. So this is going to be project worked. Let's actually move that up here as well. So again, we have date fields, relationship fields. This is what allows us to link applications together. So I can, in this case, link a time card to a project. Member fields. This is going to allow me to pick a single person or multiple people. In this case, for a time card, it's a single person probably that worked, but I can go add their Podio profile to this record. We've got things like phone and email fields, number fields. We can add in links, images. We can add monetary fields. This progress bar, it's just kind of a sliding, I won't even put it in there. It's just kind of a sliding scale that you can move back and forth to track the percentage of something that's complete. Calculation fields, we'll come back to this one. This is a very powerful, field that we've got here. It can be used to do things from simple math, like multiplying, say, a dollar value against a number of units, all the way to accepting full JavaScript to do a lot of cool advanced things with the Podio interface. So we'll save that for another video, but we'll talk hopefully about just some simple calculations. Location. This one's also really cool. It allows you to bring in an address, and it will actually, if you choose to, it will allow you to populate a map. So what's really nice is if you're in the mobile app and you pull up an item, maybe it's a work order and it's got a location attached to it, and you click the map, it will actually open that in your Maps application on your mobile device, whatever it is that you have downloaded and you choose to use, Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever it might be. But in any event, I've got my fields for my time cards app created the way I want. I'm going to click done, and creating an app is as simple as that. So now I can come in and I can add a time card for myself. Let's say I worked on AC Slater's project. Let's say the date worked was today from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Whoops. Wrong field. There we go. And I can manually add the duration. Again, you can leverage the workflow engine, the advanced workflow engine, to do some of this work for you. So let's just say this is 8 hours. And I'm going to say it's submitted. And again, now I'm able to start tracking time cards. We can see here it's got a unique ID. And it's related to a project, which is nice. So now I can start to do things like build reports, filter data, really get a handle on what's going on with my team's time very quickly by building a new Podio application for that. And actually, if I pivot over to our project, and come here. We'll see now this time card is also tied to the project and visible from the project itself. So again, really easy, really simple to create applications quickly, relate applications together so you can move work between different applications, utilizing a number of different field types. And then, again, just really getting a handle on how you organize, your team's work. Now, one thing I did want to touch on was the calculations, just briefly. So let's actually go add this to our project. So let's say in our projects, we want to track a number of hours and an hourly rate. So we could do something where we come in and we say, let's do a number and a money field. We're going to call this hours required, hourly rate, and I'm going to add a calculation field and just call this project value. Now I'm going to save it because I just added all those fields at once. I need to be able to let it save so I can see these. What's really cool now about these calculation fields is I can use the app mention, and I can see all of the fields that are available in my app. So I can see, and I can do something like hours required by hourly rate. And I can choose to show this with decimals. I can set a unit. So let's go ahead and do that. And what's really nice then is I can come in and say, you know what, this is 10 hours at 200 an hour. And my project value will automatically calculate that out for me. So again, a very simple example of a calculation field. There are a lot of advanced things you can do with these fields that we'll get into in later training videos, more advanced videos. But again, very easy to come in and get your team organized and connected around your work by building custom apps with the low code, no code interface inside of Podio. Appreciate you watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.